violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. So guys, I want to show you this TikTok video because it speaks to the attitude that a lot of brothers have toward authority, especially police officers in general, even their teachers or their principals or their administrators. You see how they had to call the police on this young man because the administrators, the teachers, they couldn't hold him. Okay, so we're going to get into this video, and this is a freshman kid, and he's pretty much all the way out of pocket.
In cop's face.
I bet you can go to sleep right now.
Freshman gets in cop's face.
I bet you can go to sleep right now.
Nigga, knock me out
You
of this. What the
go
fuck?
ahead. Let's go.
No, this cop think he tough and shit.
So he's calling the officer the N-word as if he's like his age or his homies or something like that. And then says this cop thinks he's tough and stuff. And I get it. Everybody's going to look at this and be like, hey, he hard, bro. Like, lil bro is, you know what I'm saying? Like, lil bro is you know, he a hitter. He a soldier. And at the end of the day, there's a reason why they called the police on him. There's a reason why he's in the trouble that he's in. It's not because he was doing the right thing, okay? So, obviously, there's a reason why the police were called. Probably, it looks like they might have been fighting in the bathroom or doing something in the bathroom. Maybe smoking in the bathroom. Maybe he's selling dope in the bathroom. I don't know what he's doing. But it warranted the resource officer or police officer to be called. And this is the showdown. You have these little kids who don't respect authority and who are willing to get in the teacher's face.
Oh, you damn right I'm tough. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Nigga, you trying to come to with a kid, nigga?
Freshman gets in cop's face.
I bet you can go to sleep right now.
Nigga, knock me out of this. What the
Go
fuck?
ahead. Let's go.
No, this cop think he tough and shit.
Oh, you damn right I'm tough. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Nigga, you trying to come to with a kid, nigga?
All right, so guys, you know we had to take it back to the Metro Atlanta area. So I'm just going to read this story and kind of give you guys insight on what's going on in the Metro Atlanta area. But at least 6 people shot during violent night in Atlanta. At least 6 people are recovering from injuries after being shot Wednesday night. Atlanta police are investigating 3 shootings that left a total of 6 people injured. Officers were first called to Fairborn Road just before 9:30 p.m. in reference to a person shot in the arm. Police say the victim was alert, conscious, and breathing while being transported to the hospital. There is no word on their current situation or current condition. It says crews on the scene found that had its driver's busted window out. It's unclear if it was shot or broken. All right, so at 10:40 p.m., 911 dispatchers received a call that 2 people had been shot on Jonesboro Road and Lakewood Avenue in southeast Atlanta. When officers arrived on the scene, they found 2 teenager males and an adult male suffering from gunshot wounds. All 3 were taken to the hospital in stable condition. Investigators learned that the trio was walking down the street when an unknown car pulled up alongside them and began shooting. There is no description of the vehicle or the suspect. So, you know, the kids aren't talking. They said they had 2 teenage males and an adult male. And I keep telling you guys about these grown men hanging out with these teenage boys. It's kind of weird. And, you know, they're rolling in cliques. They're rolling in crews. They're from the same neighborhood, whatever. I mean, it makes sense. The younger guys looking up to the older guys, so they're hanging with them. But these older guys put a battery in these younger guys' back because they know that they can have these younger guys do their dirty work. And the younger guys aren't going to be punished as severely. Just 5 minutes later at 10:45 p.m., 911 dispatchers received a call of 2 other people being shot in the 2000 block of Delow Drive, less than 10 minutes away from the previous shooting. Investigators learned that at this location, 2 more juveniles were shot by someone in an unknown vehicle as they walked down the road. Both victims were taken to the hospital in stable condition. So these are kids getting shot, probably by other kids. Police say that despite these 2 shootings being similar and taking place at about the same time, it is too early in the investigation to say if they were related. These 3 shootings are in addition to a shootout in Walmart parking lot on Cascade Road in the city of South Fulton. Thankfully, no one was injured during the shooting. Crews found between 20 and 30 police evidence markers for shell casings in the Walmart parking lot. This shooting happened near the previous shooting in Fairborn Road earlier in the night. Police have not connected those 2 cases either.
Let's start with Channel 2's Matt Johnson, who's been following crime trends in the metro and the suburbs too for months now. And Matt, you're live at an Atlanta gas station. Police this point looking for whoever shot a man while pumping gas, and he was here on a business trip.
Yeah, George, this was a very violent robbery attempt on a man who was visiting Atlanta for the first time in decades. Within seconds of him grabbing the gas pump and putting it in his car, he had a gun to his face, and seconds later he was shot. Now victims of other crimes across the city are wondering how they became targets too.
Wow. So guy comes into Atlanta, first time being in the city, and he gets welcomed by these brothers running up on him, obviously, trying to hit a lick, trying to get him for his bread. And they end up shooting this guy. Could have killed him. They probably wanted his car. They probably wanted other things. He didn't want to give it up, so they shot him.
I was scared. But I was just kind of like, why? Why are you doing this?
Surveillance video shows how Kevin Cooper had no time to react when an armed robber ambushed him at an Atlanta gas station. Then, out of frame of the camera, police say the robber shot him in the leg over his car keys.
I have no feeling.
Wow. And there's a song called Who Wants Smoke? And it's by Nardo Wick. And he says something in that verse that really stood out to me. He says, I ain't never lacking. I pump gas with my gun out. I ain't never lacking because I pump gas with my gun out. And it pretty much sums up how you have to be, especially in the Atlanta area. Look how sneaky this dude was.
Surveillance video shows how Kevin Cooper had no time to react when an armed robber ambushed him at an Atlanta gas station. Then, out of frame of the camera, police say the robber shot him in the leg over his car keys.
I have no feeling in my lower extremities whatsoever.
I spoke to Cooper from his hospital bed days after the shooting at this Shell gas station on Donald.
So he can't feel the lower half of his body. Tragic.
Lee Hollowell Parkway. He was visiting Atlanta for business on Saturday night at around 8:30 when police say the robber demanded his car keys. But Cooper said no.
I just felt like being in a strange city. I couldn't be without my vehicle. But I honestly felt like in my head, I was going to get shot either way.
Atlanta police say the robber became upset and shot Cooper before running away without the car.
He stepped back and pointed the muzzle of the gun.
So this dude ends up shooting the guy, gets mad and shoots him. Didn't even check his pockets, didn't even try to get the keys, just shot him.
The rear of my right knee and pulled the trigger. And then they ran.
He's not sure when he'll be able to walk again normally, but he is a man of faith.
Let's see, it's all in God's hands.
This violent attempted carjacking happened amid an 82% increase in overall crime. That's according to the latest 7-day APD figures released at the beginning of the month.
Wow, 82% increase in overall crime in Atlanta. And they're trying to give you these misleading stats about shootings and murders. Don't get it messed up. Atlanta's on demon time. So don't think that it's sweet out there and you can just go unguarded because murders are down 38% and shootings are down 17%. These arbitrary numbers that they want to throw out there to make it seem like everything's Gucci. All this is a stem from the Rashard Brooks situation in Atlanta. Ever since they burned down that Wendy's, it's been up since then.
Shootings were down 17% over the week, and murders dropped by 38% over the past month.
See, look, so now they have to, shootings are down this week by 17%. If y'all are measuring shootings on a weekly basis, right? And murders on a monthly basis, it's not looking good for the overall annual statistics.
But one crime that more than doubled in a week is car break-ins, going from 135 to 275.
You shouldn't have to be afraid that, your car and your fur babies are going to go missing, in a blink.
Look at this liberal, your fur babies. Come on, G. These dudes ain't robbing you for your dogs, your cats. Come on.
Blink of an eye.
Duncan Cross says he locked his car with his 3 cats inside last Tuesday to quickly run into the PetSmart on Howell Mill Road. APD says thieves stole his car with his 3 cats inside anyway.
It's been devastating. My father has just passed away, and, they're kind of a coping mechanism.
Police recovered his SUV, but Bella, Blaze, and Bodie are all still missing.
Look, if anybody sees the cats, number one, we'll pay the reward to whoever has them.
Meanwhile, Kevin Cooper is looking to get back home within the next week, while hoping his attacker doesn't hurt anyone else.
I don't think it's the first time he's done this. I just hope it will be the last.
Unlikely that it'll be the last time. He's not going to be stopped until someone stops him. That's what demon time is.
Channel 2's Matt Johnson back with us now. And Matt, it's not just in Atlanta where police are saying, look, this could happen anywhere. You could be a victim at any gas station.
Any gas station where there is a high percentage of sun men, you can be a victim. Big cities, big metropolitan areas, LA, Dallas, Houston, right? Philadelphia, New York City, Brooklyn, DC, Charlotte. I could keep naming them. Milwaukee, Baltimore, Detroit, Chicago. It's not everywhere. It's just in these bigger cities where it's a high concentration, where they're telling you, hey, it's Wakanda over here and everything's good. Black people are eating in Atlanta. Black people eating in Houston. We're also dying. We're also getting our cars jacked. We're also getting shot. We're also shooting people. We're also jacking people's cars.
That's right, George. Just about every police department in the metro has issued warnings before the holidays about an increase in crime, especially thefts. Now, the victims in the story you just saw both locked their doors and were still victims. So police say by leaving your doors unlocked and leaving items visible, you're even more of a target. George.
Matt Johnson, a reality we've been reporting throughout this pandemic.
Well, Warner Robins police are investigating after Wells Fargo was robbed by a woman wearing a Halloween mask. Police say that it happened yesterday at around 11:30 on 2714 Watson Boulevard. Officers say Abigail Lane walked in saying, "This is a stick-up, this is a robbery, get down or else."
Wow. So this woman walks in with a Halloween mask. Obviously, nobody's going to look at her sideways because everybody's wearing masks nowadays. So this is a, more creative mask, but either way, nobody's going to look at her crazy because she is wearing a mask inside of a bank. I've already told you guys this. The COVID mask has made it easier for people who are on demon time to do their demonic thing.
They also say she began to argue with bank staff about stealing money. Lane is charged with criminal attempt to commit armed robbery and wearing a mask. Warner Robins police are still investigating the November 22nd robbery at Robins Financial Credit Union, where a teller was shot. A $5,000 reward is being offered. Anyone with information can call Detective Carmen Thompson. That number, it's 478-302-5380. Again, that number, it's 478-302-5380.
Man, some high school students in Henry County are demanding that teachers accused of using the N-word in front of the class be fired. And tonight, the superintendent's office is confirming that at least 2 of those teachers are being disciplined, but cannot disclose what the punishment is.
John Sheriff reports students protested inside the school this afternoon and say their school's principal and teachers approved.
So there are teachers across the country, judges across the country who have gotten a little bit more comfortable with saying the N-word. Now, in this particular school, who knows why that is, but I'm going to go on a limb to say that it was probably provoked by some agitation from the students. I'm sure the teachers aren't just going around saying the N-word willy-nilly. Maybe they were reading some text from a required reading book. But usually when these things happen, it's either they're reading it from a text of required reading and you read over the word and whatnot, and then kids get offended just because you read it. Or they did something to provoke the teacher and the teacher is at the end of their wits and they slip up and, call these young children out of their names.
Students at Luella High School protesting teachers who used the N-word in class.
The teacher was saying the N-word.
Christopher Wright and Shalise Stafford say one of the teachers, who is white, wouldn't stop using the word.
And people didn't like it, so she kept saying it over and over again.
She was saying, like, you could say it, I could say it, it's just a word and everything. And the students was like, no, you cannot say that because I don't feel comfortable with you saying that.
So just understand that the teacher is trying to make an example. All the black people in this school obviously use the N-word. Okay? Even on occasion, I use the N-word. So now when the white teacher has already told you to stop saying that word in their class and you continue to say it, now they're like, okay, well, if you saying it, then we saying it, then we all saying it until you make me stop saying it. And I guess the students took to the streets and got the white picket signs and the the 2x4s and the cardboard boxes and went to protesting.
She was like, no, but it's just a word.
Students reported the teacher to the principal, who offered an apology on the intercom a week later. Students, black and white, demanding more.
She should be fired and shouldn't be able to use that word ever again, not even in public or around other black people.
It's like
Luella High School.
Disrespect. You should respect our feelings. Just because you don't feel that way doesn't mean we don't feel that way.
The superintendent's office sent us an email saying employment action has been taken against the employees, but that by law, administrators are not allowed to disclose any more information. Students considering more protests with the support, they say, of their schools, teachers and administrators.
The teachers and administrators was actually supporting us. That was surprising. We thought that they were going to write everyone up and they was going to send everyone back to class, but they made sure we stayed and it's okay to do that. You speak for what you think is right.
A lesson these...
So Luella High School, just taking a quick look at their demographics. It appears that they are 67% black, 13% white, 11% Hispanic, 4% other. And obviously the performance of the school is not the best. So you know that a lot of these kids are using the N-word, and a lot of these teachers are having to hear them use the word over and over again. And as we know in the community, we see that as a term of endearment. And I'm not saying that it's right that the teacher is saying it, but you have to understand what these teachers are going through at these schools, constantly seeing fights, constantly seeing students disrespect authority. I've already showed you that in the beginning. So some of these teachers are at wit's end and they're like, hey, man, I'm tired of it. So now they have gone to the point where, hey, it's just a word to me. It's just a word to them because they hear it so much amongst all the black people, the 67% of the school that say it to each other.
Students are more than willing to put into practice again.
A Henry County school spokesperson tells us the district does not condone the alleged actions, which is why a thorough investigation was called for to get to the bottom of what happened.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.